What it do, man? It's 420 Boxing Network. You already know what it is. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna do this John from the whip. You know what I mean? I have to change the scenery up on y'all. But what I wanted to talk about real quick was Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter, right? You see, there's a lot of talk about Terence Crawford hasn't fought anyone. We don't know if Terence the real deal. Well, that's a false narrative. And y'all know I'm the narrative killer. So that's a false narrative because Terence Crawford is one of six undisputed champions in the four belt era. So it's impossible for you to do that, accomplish that feat without fighting anybody. Because in order to do it, you literally have to fight all the champions. So then I go back and I look at his resume. I'm like, well, how can Terence Crawford not fought anyone when he's a 3-divisional champion? Y'all do know he ran 135, right? Y'all do know he ran 140, right? Y'all do know he became a champion at 47, right? Just stop with that narrative. Just stop with that. Because you don't hear that from Alexander Usyk. He was undisputed at cruiserweight. Cruiserweight is probably one of the weakest divisions in boxing. But you still have to respect that because he beat who they put in front of him. So if you go back to my video with Alexander Usyk versus Anthony Joshua, I called that fight. I called the Usyk fight versus Joshua because even though Usyk was the smaller guy, I believe that he was the better fighter. He's the undisputed fighter. So if you have an undisputed fighter moving up to fight a guy who's not that good in his own division, in my opinion, who's not as skillful as him, he has the better chance. Usyk is the better fighter than Anthony Joshua, no matter if Joshua fought the better competition. Because in actuality, y'all got to realize that skill does not equal notoriety. Just because you don't know the guy doesn't mean he's not good. That's what's wrong with y'all casuals. If you saying Terence Crawford hasn't fought anybody, you're a casual. Just say you don't know many boxers. Because if you look at a hold on, pardon me. If you look at a Ricky Burns, would you say he was a nobody at 135? Or the clear-cut champion at 35? At that time. Gamboa. Would you say that Gamboa is a nobody? Or would you tell me he was a top fighter at that time? Amir Khan, Kell Brook, Victor Postal is nobody? Or was he the champion at 40? Come on, man. Just say you don't know boxing. That's all. That's all you got to admit. Benavidez. Come on, man. And then it's not like he's going, oh, I'm going 12 rounds with these guys. He's knocking everybody out. Only guy he got to survive was who? Postal? Y'all should be giving Postal more props. He's the only guy to see the 12th round with Crawford in a long time. So, Postal looking pretty good in my opinion right now. Come on, man. Just say y'all don't know boxing, man. And then, when you talk about we're at 47, y'all do know he has a belt at 47, right? Do y'all do know that Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao, right? I'm the biggest Manny Pacquiao fan you can ever see in your life, but that fight could have went either way, bro. Against Horn. A lot of y'all say he got robbed. No. Pacquiao wasn't able to do exactly what he wanted to do in that fight. That's not one of Pacquiao's most spectacular fights. So I understand low-key why they gave it to Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn has a rough and tough style. It's kind of similar to Shawn Porter. Crawford knocked him out to become champion at 147. And everybody likes to holler Errol. I'm an Errol Spence guy. Errol Spence is one of my favorite fighters. But I'll be lying and I'll be biased if I said that Errol Spence wasn't in a hurry to fight Terence Crawford. Errol Spence knows that Crawford is too good and too risky, and he's not a big enough draw for them to fight. You see how I just said multiple things? It's multiple things. It's not just one thing, oh, he just scared. No, it's that he doesn't want to lose to Terence Crawford for no money. Errol Spence knows Terence Crawford is no joke. He knows Terence Crawford is the truth. He know that he's the truth. But if they fought, Errol Spence would have to carry the pay-per-view. And Crawford would have to get... and Crawford's not willing to accept, and he shouldn't accept nothing less than what he think he's worth in that fight. So that's why that fight is not happening. See, Errol Spence thought, oh, I can go get a big fight with Manny Pacquiao. I can go to get a big fight with these other guys who I think I can beat. Errol Spence was going to destroy Manny Pacquiao that night. That fight never happened, but I had a video on it where I told everybody, hey, Manny's my favorite fighter. Errol's my new favorite fighter. Manny is not the same Manny that we once know. He's going to get destroyed by Errol Spence. Errol Spence had to put out because of an eye injury. Now Pacquiao fights Ugas. Ugas beats Pacquiao. Takes Errol Spence's opportunity away from him. So now, Errol Spence, you don't have too many fights that you can fight other than Terence Crawford. So you need to just buckle down, call Al. No, don't tell. I'm talking to Errol Spence right now. Don't tell nobody else to call Al. You call Al and tell him you want Terence Crawford. Get on the phone with Big Bob and let's make it happen for the fans and the culture. 2 black fighters, 2 elite black fighters at the top of their game fighting for the welterweight crown. Let's do it for the culture. But see, if Terence Crawford do what I believe he's going to do against Shawn Porter, which is knock him out in a spectacular fashion, because that's what's going to happen. people are going to start looking at Terence Crawford like, hey, maybe he's the best in the division. Maybe it's not Errol Spence. And then Errol's going to have to prove himself against Terence. See, right now they're doubting Terence and have all the confidence in Errol. But once Terence Crawford get done with Porter, they should, I believe, they're going to start having Crawford as the guy they believe in. And Errol Spence is going to be the guy who's going to have to prove himself. And he's going to have to prove himself against Terence Crawford. And it's a great fight. That's one of the greatest fights that can be made in boxing right now. Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. So let's get it on. But as far as Shawn Porter is concerned, I don't see no way. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way, boy. Man, if Shawn Porter beats Terence Crawford, man, I'll come on this camera right now and tell you that Shawn Porter is the greatest welterweight in the world. He's the greatest welterweight in the world. Errol gonna lose in a rematch to him. Because if he beats Terence Crawford, I'm pretty sure he wants an Errol rematch. He's gonna beat Errol in a rematch if he beat Terence Crawford. But even though, I just want to say this before I get off this camera. Right now, we talking about Porter, Errol, and Terence when it comes to welterweight. Ugas is in there. Y'all better watch out for Jerron Boots Ennis, bro. Because it's a new guy who coming to take them titles. Y'all settle whatever y'all got to settle. Errol, go fight Ugas. Terence got his fight with Shawn. The winners of those two fight, y'all fight each other. Let Boots get the winner. And in the meantime, Boots, you go fight Thurman. That's how I would have it right now. Boots, go fight Thurman. Terence is already fighting Shawn. Errol, go fight Ugas. The winner of Errol and Ugas and the winner of Porter and Terence, go fight the winner of Boots. They fight each other. Errol and Terence fight each other. Then the winner, go fight the winner of Boots and Thurman. That's how it should be done. But we'll see what happens. We'll see who's the Ducks. Because I feel like that's not going to happen, of course. That's in a fantasy land. I feel like somebody's going to duck. I don't know who. I would love to see, but I believe somebody's going to duck, man. But it's 420 Boxing Network. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'm out.